Hey guys, it's Rachel with Be Healed Dog Training. We're going to be taking a look at day 2 with Kronk. Kronk being the dog that showed up randomly on our property and me working with him to catch him, which proved to be much harder than expected. I am going to throw out the disclaimer that you will see later in the video clips that I did a lot of things that do not follow my normal protocol. So, namely having him meet my personal dogs. Typically, there's no way I would have an unknown off-leash dog meet my personal dogs, especially just on the second day. But there was a lot of thought put into it and precautions being taken. So I'm just throwing that out there. But we'll go ahead and take a look at what his second day with us looked like. If you haven't already seen, there is a video showing day 1, so you can go back and check that out on my YouTube channel. But anyway, so this is where Kronk would mostly spend his time, especially if I came close. This is in the tree line to the woods at the back of our property, and it's very close to my horse paddock. He was obsessed with the horses in a good way. He loved them, but he was also very calm around them and respectful of their space. So I just picked up where we left off with my little game. I have this metal bowl that you saw there, and I would toss treats and kibbles in there. It would make noise. He'd hear it. He'd come out. He'd check it out and take the food. There's my horse Eliza watching the proceedings going on. So I had just tossed some food in there, and you can see he's very aware of where I am. This was as close as I could get at the time without him retreating into the woods. So every time we would do this, I would just repeat that over and over throughout the day and try to get closer to him. And this video shows that when he would venture out, which he started doing more of, if I walked at all his direction, and in this video I'm not even purposely walking straight at him, I was actually walking up to go approach my horses, you can see he'd run right into the woods and, just keep his distance, didn't want to be anywhere near me. But the moment I would start to walk away, sorry, you can hear my son in the background is chatting, but the moment I'd start to walk away, Kronk would start coming towards me. So we just played this cha-cha game a lot. And I would repeat this constantly throughout the day. I'd walk towards him and walk away and towards him and away. And never walking towards him like, hey, I'm going to try and catch you. Just more of a matter of fact, hey, here I am. So this is where we see what I'm doing. What I ended up doing is I noticed that when I took my personal dogs out to use the bathroom, he very much wanted to approach, and this was the closest that he would get, to me. Now, I normally have my dogs off leash on my property, but just with this going on initially, they were absolutely on leash for safety's sake, and I had pepper spray on me. I had a firearm on me, just, again, worst case scenario, but my first and most important thought in my head is keeping myself and my dog safe. And even though he's throwing me all the body language that he looks totally fine, I would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. So the reason I decided to let them meet is because I felt like they were my ticket to getting my hands on him, because he was so willing to come close, and he was giving lots of very obvious body signals that he was being submissive and playful and friendly. You see the play bows going on and kind of him hopping around, and he's a puppy, so not that that's a guaranteed thing, but typically when they're younger like this, if they haven't had, some negative socialization experiences, they're usually a pretty clean slate. So I did allow my dogs to meet him, knowing that there is a certain risk associated with that. Behavioral wise, there could be, I could have a potential for a dog to become aggressive unexpectedly, and also because I don't know him. He could have fleas. He could have, medical issues, but he looked like he was in really good shape, and it was just a personal decision that I made. But again, the point being, I was going, all right, if he'll approach with my dogs, maybe I can use them to draw him closer and allow me to interact with him more and get him more comfortable with being around me, because he really wanted nothing to do with me. What I did end up doing was, as you can see, Bella's now off leash. She does have her remote collar on, but what I ended up doing is I would let her go out, let them play a little bit, and then recall Belle, and he would follow her in. And you can, actually, you can't see, I don't have a video of this, but what I did a few times is I would reach over her back and just briefly touch him or reach towards him and let him get used to me being a closer presence. So all these video clips just show kind of that sending him out, recall. Here I had her in a sit, and because he approached so closely, I released her because I don't want my dog to be stuck in a command when a dog comes up to interact. And then this little clip just shows how he behaved when I would move my horses back and forth. That was also a time that he would be close to me, but not really a practical way to try and work with him. This was more just for fun to see, you know, how much he was just very interested in the other animals, interested in being around them. Um, and so he'd follow me over to the pasture, and then he'd go hang out with them in the grass pasture. And again, the moment the horses were away from me, so was Kronk. He didn't want to be anywhere too close to me. And then this next video just shows the evening, last potty break of the night. The dogs were playing, and you could see he actually got really comfortable with coming close to where I was. But that would only happen if I was being very neutral and not making any move towards him. If I just stood still, he would pass close by. But if I even shifted his direction, he would dart off and just, you know, bolt away. Usually not super far away. He wouldn't like run off into the woods, but he definitely, absolutely kept his distance. But you can see just how much he really enjoys the other dogs. It was raining a little bit, so you can see some of the drizzly rain. And yep, he spent the night out in the rain because couldn't get my hands on him. But obviously he did just fine. So anyway, this was just kind of an overview of day 2, and just keeping you guys posted on the progress and kind of how this whole situation unfolded with him. So we'll have more videos coming showing what the rest of his next couple of weeks looked like. Because yes, as I'm recording this, he has been here for a couple of weeks. I've not caught him yet. I'm at a point where I could if I wanted to, but we're taking things really slowly. So if you want to just keep following along with the videos, you'll get more explanation of why that is and what we're doing. So make sure you check back.